Welcome to the Time to Practice podcast. This is a space where we talk about music practice, the ups and downs that young musicians go through related to practice and learning music, and how we as parents, caregivers, and music educators can support the young musicians in our lives, support ourselves, and support each other. My name is Christine Goodner. I'm a music educator, author, and podcaster who has made it my mission to talk about music practice and to support educators and families looking to make home practice more effective and to reduce conflict and frustration in the practice room. I'm glad you're here. This episode is brought to you by my upcoming SAA enrichment course, Setting Families Up for Success, which starts on January 9th, 2026. On Friday mornings, we'll meet every other week for 4 sessions, and I'd love to have you join me. Rather than hear me talk about the course, here's a word about it from frequent guest of the podcast, Barbie Wong.
Christine's course really helps the teacher build a foundation so that the parents have the tools that they need for things like everyday practice, for support with music lessons, and for times when things are difficult. And Christine helps guide the teachers through all of that so that as a teacher, we can feel like we know what to do in those difficult times. I think every teacher needs to take Christine's course.
Thanks, Barbie. If this piqued your interest and you'd like to sign up, you can find registration information in the show notes and on the SAA website. Registration will close in early January. As 2025 is coming to a close, I think many of us have our thoughts shifting to the new year ahead. We'll be back next week on the podcast with an interview episode with a very exciting guest expert joining us. But for today, I wanted to think a bit about setting goals and intentions around music practice. I am a big goals person. I like to look at the calendar for the year ahead and think about fun things, work things, family things, and do a lot of planning for what I hope the year ahead will look like. And I do have to say, I feel very lucky that for me, a lot of those things overlap. And I have a lot of fun thinking about what's ahead. And also, I have learned to be careful not to overschedule myself and put too many intensive things into one given month of the year. I took a workshop this month from author and podcaster Sarah Hart Unger, who has a new book out called Best Laid Plans. And I'm excited to dig into all things planning and systems for organizing the year ahead based on her workshop. So I say all that just to give you an idea of how much I love planning and goal setting. One thing I'm thinking about related to music and music practice this year, though, is to think more about intentions rather than goals. There's an interesting article I came across while I was thinking about this idea from Psychology Today. It was published in 2022, and I'll link to that in the show notes. And basically, the article talked about how goals can be really outcome based, like we either do the thing or we don't, or there's like a pass or a fail to them. And, with some things in life, I think for me, music is one of them. That can be the opposite of motivating sometimes. I think it's why people set goals for the new year and give up on them so early. For example, gyms report a lot of new members and places being very crowded at the start of the year, and then quickly people stop coming just a few weeks into the year getting started. And I think that can come from telling ourselves things like, we're going to do something, quote, every day or X number of days per week, and then feeling like we're failing if we can't do that, or life happens and gets in the way sometimes. So that's why I like the idea of intentions or ways of thinking about music and music practice being more effective than a rigid goal as we head into the new year. Maybe like me, you like to have some of each, some goals, some intentions. In the Psychology Today article written by Robin Lanehurst, she suggests making a list of 5 things you value and 5 things you enjoy, and then seeing what overlaps in order to set your intentions for the year. For the purposes of music making or music practice, I think also we could think of 5 things we value and 5 things we enjoy or want more of in our music life. Some things I was thinking that could go on that list are quality time with our child who's involved in music lessons, especially if we're in the practice room with them, coaching them through. Maybe it's seeing our child gain skills on their instrument, or enthusiasm about music, or the joy of making music with others. Maybe something we want more of is cooperative practices with our child versus conflict or arguing. Something we might want more of is being able to be present when our child has a concert or performance and making time to be there. Maybe we want more time playing our instrument just for the enjoyment of it and not just the quote hard work or effort filled practices, but also time to just play. Alternately, we might feel like we're getting lots of that in, but we want more time putting in effort on deliberate practice and having that balance between play and getting things accomplished or improving our technical skills or learning a piece of music we've always wanted to learn. We might value taking advantage of opportunities to see live music. You might value being an encourager for your child or your students and make an intention of saying something positive out loud to them every chance you get. You may value taking advantage of having those just a few minutes when you have it to practice rather than feeling like you need a long time to make it worth your while. You might value making music with others and looking for ways to get involved in social situations with music this coming year, whether that's for you or for your child. You might value connecting with other parents of music students or teachers of music students and look for ways to connect with other adults supporting the work of young musicians so you don't have to go it alone. As you're listening to this, you likely have your own things you would add to this list that I haven't even thought of or don't apply to me. I'm just brainstorming here at this moment, but I do like the idea of thinking about what I value in my music life and what can I do more of that I enjoy this coming year. What do I or we want more of in our life related to music? How can we combine those lists together to make some intentions for a few things we want to add into our life? I say it all the time on this podcast, but music is such a gift, and being involved in it and with other people involved in it could take lots of effort or logistics or resources sometimes, but it also gives us so much back. And doing more that's positive and that gives us joy and feeds our humanity and our connection to beauty and the world and the people in our lives is definitely on my list of intentions for 2026. What's going to be on your list this year? What intentions will you set related to music in the new year ahead? As we go into this week and head into this new year, I'll leave you with those questions to ponder, and I would love to hear what you come up with on your lists. I'm grateful this podcast is one thing in your world related to music that you put into your life. I don't take for granted that you're here listening each week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening this year. My connection with all of you is something I value and want more of in the year ahead, and I look forward to many more conversations in the future. Happy New Year, everyone. Take very good care.